Again, I was hating on this card a little bit ago, and now I look at it. The main card's fun. The undercard, I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. It's not great. Hopefully, Ian McCall finally gets to fucking fight, for God's sakes. But fuck that undercard. Let's go. So in the main event, you got Holly Holm versus Germaine de Randamie. Mm-hmm. I love the matchup. Granted, Holly Holm lost her last 2 fights, and Germaine de Randamie's wins are not that impressive at all. Who'd you bring up right now? Germaine de Randamie?
This is Germaine, yeah.
Yeah, so, she's not, as far as MMA goes, she's not a world beater. She lost to Amanda Nunes in the first round. She has a split decision win over Julie Kenzie. She's doing her thing. She's trying, but the reason why this matchup is fun is because Germaine goes forward. Her traditional Muay Thai background is ridiculous. She's a multiple-time world champion in traditional Muay Thai, Dutch kickboxing, so that's fun. World-class striker. Then you have Holly Holm, who's a world-class boxer, traditional American kickboxer. But Holly Holm is a counterpuncher. Germaine de Randamie is a pressure fighter. The number one thing that Holly Holm does well is counter fighting. That's if you want Holly Holm to be world champion, you pair up with someone who goes forward, i.e. Ronda Rousey. How did that work out for her? You can't. Miesha Tate is someone who goes forward, but she's not a striker. It's a different type of pressure. If you want her to do well, you have to have her going for. She has to have an opponent who's going to strike, who's a good striker and goes forward. This is the perfect matchup for Holly to be world champion again. I love the fight for Holly. I don't know. What are the odds? Is Holly an underdog?
I didn't even check. So
I don't look at odds. Holly's an underdog, barely, plus 105. I like that too. I would parlay Holly Holm and Anderson Silva. That's what I do. I wouldn't touch any of the other bets.
I had no idea she's an underdog. I didn't expect that.
Yep. But this is I could see, and this is the other thing. Germaine de Randamie gets fucking starched by Cyborg. Holly Holm doesn't. It's all about matchups. But this belt at 145, depending on what happens with Cyborg and suspension, the only fight that belt's just gonna be on hold till Cyborg comes off suspension. Right. Who the fuck else are we gonna find? Maybe do an Ultimate Fighter or looking for a fight YouTube show for a 45 girl. I don't know. Either way, there's no future in the division. And then in this weird world of MMA, if Holly Holm loses, she's 0-3. What the fuck do we do with her? You keep fighting her because we don't have enough stars. And Holly Holm at 135 is still the girl who cracked the Ronda Rousey code, and that highlight will forever be ingrained in everyone's brain. And Fox and the UFC will always show it because she slayed the monster that was Ronda Rousey. Uh-huh. Not Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes, people really aren't going to notice her for that. It's always the first person to decode it. You know what I'm saying? So Holly Holm will always be regarded as that. They're never going to let Holly go. Even if she were to lose this one, she's still one of the top 3 most famous girls at 135, especially with Ronda out and Miesha out. Shit, she's number 1. She's more famous than Amanda Nunes.
Of course, yeah.
Easily. Not even close. So you're not going to do shit with her even if she loses this. But I don't think she loses. I think Holly Holm has the fight of her life, and I think she outclasses Germaine de Randamie, and I think Randamie is a pressure fighter. I think Holly Holm counter strikes and gets her to the cage and gets the underhook and wins rounds, but it goes to a decision. But I'll take Holly Holm. Be your champ at 145. And then what you do with that belt, I have no idea. I have no idea what their plan is. You got to wait to see what happens with Cyborg. But the fight is Cyborg Holly. That's the motherfucking fight. That is a fight. But that 45 division, build it and they will come. That's easier said than done. I know we like to say those cool catchphrases like build it and they will come. Not really. 145 is a big-ass girl. There's not a ton of big-ass girls wanting to get punched in the face in the world right now. Build it and will they come? I guess. We have a hard time finding fucking big dudes, let alone big women that want to get punched in the face. It's a tough sell, man.
It's time to bring back Gina.
You know what? You're fucking right. Gina Holly Holm at 45 just for the belt.
Oh, that'd be dope.
That's a great fight, Chin. That's a brilliant idea, son.
Yes.
That's exactly what they're going to do. I think Gina's represented by WME.
Is she?
Don't quote me on that. I don't think she's a CAA girl. I feel like I would know. I'm sure I'll find out. That's the fight. Cyborg, she's been suspended for a year or who knows how long, for fucking ever, for taking all those steroids. And then Holly Holm, I would buy Holly Holm versus Gina. I am a Gina fan.
I think a lot of people are.
Mm-hmm. She has nothing to lose. Fight for a world title. I know she's making movies. Who knows if she wants to do it, but I'd watch it.
That was one of her biggest weaknesses, too, was making that weight cut. When she was trying to... Was it 140 or 135? I think it was 135 that she was trying to cut to. Or maybe even 145 she was trying to cut to way back in the day, Strikeforce days.
It's a different game now. Nutritionists, sports evolved. We could get her there.
Yeah.
She'd be
Let's get her there.
design piece at 45 these days.